Outside of wrestling, I know you've done a lot of charity work and have done stuff to help out in your community. Let's talk about some of the things that you've done to make a difference.
Just so I got into teaching in the last time I was in Japan in 2010. I broke my collarbone, tore up, everything in my shoulder. I had to get surgery, so I decided for 3 years I worked as a teacher's aide before WWE while I was pursuing wrestling. So I went back into teaching, started subbing, and then started working with special needs kids, special ed classrooms. And then I started doing that after school with a couple teenage special ed boys with two families, which kind of led me into just down the teaching path. And I was like, I can teach and wrestle at the same time. I can pursue both. And so did that. I also through my, martial arts background and I've done martial arts my most of my adult life just because I love the training. I love learning. And it's really helped me in ring. It really takes your instincts and just your movements. It really adds that realism and just, it just I can't say enough about what martial arts will do for in-ring work. I certainly speaking for myself, it's helped it a lot. But started doing kids, a couple of kids classes a week, teaching kids jujitsu, grappling, and then also at that gym started doing a strength and conditioning class, teaching boxing as well. And through my teaching, I'm a health and PE teacher by trade the last 8 years, but did a lot of special ed. I was in 5 years. I was a adaptive health and PE teacher in a private therapy school, which was really fun. And then the last 5 years, I've taught homeschooled kids. So, um, and just looking, and along with the last 3 years being the coach at the Beyond School, just giving back that way, always giving back to younger wrestlers that would ask me stuff and befriend, I being around 24, 25 years, you get to go through two, three generations. So you come up, there's all different waves of people that you've come up with. When I got out of WWE, the Tommaso Ciampas, the Ivars, the Kofi Kingstons, those guys were coming up. Then a couple of years later, it was the Matt Tavens and the Mike Bennett's and the Dijaks and those guys. So, and it's constantly been that way. This last wave at Beyond, 4 or 5 years ago, was the Carmelo Hayeses, the MJFs, pretty much anyone that's been that went on to AEW. So you see those different waves, and you always want to give back and um, give any pointers, and I learn as well. Those are my peers. I never look at it as I'm the veteran, I know it all. No, you're always, as a teacher, as a worker, as a wrestler, performer, you're always working, you always want to get better, and you're always proving yourself. So, um, so you can't ever lose fact of that you always want to improve, and you always really, to whether it's to yourself or to other people, you gotta prove yourself.
What is it about being a teacher, being a coach that gives you the most joy?
Um, just helping others and seeing the building the relationships, having kids that you had 5 or 10 years ago, seeing them, out at the grocery store and saying, "Oh, hey, having those relationships." And you when you get an email or when from one of your students saying, "You're my favorite teacher. I love you, make health and PE fun. You made school fun for me." Because I really never had that as a student. I hated school. So I want to make it enjoyable. I want to make kids want to learn. So that part of it. being a health and PE teacher, obviously I'm like the toy section of the school subjects. So it's certainly helps to do that. But I've taught all subjects, so it's about making them fun and making them relatable to the kids, and to have them come back and say, "You're my favorite," or "I loved your class. You had my favorite class." That's what makes it worthwhile.